Hello there, welcome into the latest edition of the Cross Country Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside head men's and women's cross country coach Tim Servis. And Coach, we sit here more or less towards the tail end of your season. Both your men's and women's teams are preparing for the Great American Conference Championship Preview Meet. This year it's being held in Ada, Oklahoma at East Central. A little bit of a change. It wasn't originally scheduled there, but for other reasons it got moved back to East Central. That was a championship site in 2012. So there are several runners on both your men's and women's side that have familiarity with this course and knowing that it is going to be the championship course. Talk a little bit about how that might be an advantage for both your men's and women's teams, more or less kind of being a little bit more familiar with that course.
It's the more familiar a team is with the course, the better the advantage is. In cross-country, home course advantage is huge, just like in any other sport, but more so I think in cross country because every cross country course is different. Some are flat, some have hills. You got to learn where the turns are and so on and so forth, and so knowing the course really helps out. So that's why I feel very strong about always going to the preview meets to check things out, to get them familiarized with it. I think it'll help our upperclassmen out on the course, knowing and having been there, and then they can give my underclassmen tips. But right now on the guys' side, most of the top runners are the underclassmen. So it might not. It's going to be an advantage to the older ones, but not as much to the younger ones. On the girls' side, though, it is most of our stronger runners have ran on that, so it will give them a little bit of an advantage, especially being that Harding is a young team, and I don't think any of their top five has been on that course, besides Dallas Bailey, their fifth girl right now. So I do see some differences. I do see where it'll be an advantage for some. Of course, Carly's the #1 runner in the GAC. She's running so far ahead of the #2 that I just don't foresee anybody, no matter what the course is or the familiarity with it, I don't foresee anybody, getting close to her.
Throughout this season, both your men's and women's teams have more or less built up to this point of the year. Obviously, the training when meets aren't being run have been a big key of it throughout this season. But recently, your teams are coming off a very strong showing at the ULR Invitational. One where there was some D1 competition, some good regional D2 competition. Harding was there, and yet both of your teams ran really well in that meet. Particularly, Chris Wallace and Carly Langley, just a couple of individuals standing out. So talk a little bit about where your teams are right now going into this point of the season to where you're at the conference preview meet.
Our teams have been improving a lot, but that's the way we train. We start out with a lot of mileage and more of a moderate pace, and as the season progresses, as they get their legs under them and get stronger, we work on a lot more intensity. So typically, our teams will always improve towards the end of the season with the program that we have them training on. So I expect to see a lot of progress and improvement. We had some injuries that really set back our team. Chris Wallace came in just coming off an injury, so he's out most of the summer, so we didn't get that summer training in. On our girls' end, though, we still are. We got our teams healthy now, but they're still far behind because we had some unforeseen injuries, and that has really affected our girls' team because some of our more talented runners, some of the runners that were scoring for us, were out for a good portion of the time. So now the plan is to try to get them in best shape as possible. We're bringing them to this meet so they can get the familiarity with the course, and hopefully within 2 weeks they'll get a little bit of conditioning to where they can be effective.
This upcoming meet is the GAC preview meet. So talk a little bit about maybe what more or less the game plan is, the focus in this meet, kind of what you want to get out of it, knowing that in a couple of weeks after that, you're going right back to the same place, same course, but this time for the real thing, compete for a conference championship.
Well, we definitely want to get. I definitely want to see improvement, and I want to see progress. Each meet, I like to see progress, improvement. I think our confidence level is very high, especially with the guys, because they did so well at Euler, and they were only 4 points behind Harding, which in cross country, I mean, 4 points is in a meet that size is really close. So you know, seeing this meet, getting this experience, getting focused for the championship, I feel like we're on the right page.
Well, we appreciate it very much for your time. Again, that's head men's and women's cross country coach Tim Servis. Both his men's and women's cross country teams are heading to Ada, Oklahoma to take part in the GAC preview meet. That is this upcoming Saturday. The women will go started first at 9:30 in the Manna Brown, 10:10 in Ada. Be sure to check MealRiderAthletics.com for the full recap following that meet. Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.